All right, students, so you have activated your school Gmail account and emailed your instructors. The next step you're going to want to do is to access the courses. These courses will be assigned to you by your instructor through the Wickenburg Virtual Academy if you are completing Gradpoint courses. If you are taking courses through Edgenuity or Mesa Distance Learning Program, you will get information from those specific providers and those instructors. So for this video, we will just focus on your Gradpoint courses. To see your Gradpoint courses, you will go to the district website, wickenburgschools.org, and then under schools, find Wickenburg Virtual Academy. Under the for students, choose the Gradpoint, Edgenuity, and MDLP links. So as I said earlier, Edgenuity and Mesa Distance are different platforms that are also used through our online school, but primarily Gradpoint is the course platform that we will use. You will be given a username and password. So that will either come from your instructor or Ms. Garcia. Typically, it's your first initial, last name, and the password is student one with a capital S. Try that again. So I'm just going to talk you through some of the features of Gradpoint to help you learn how to navigate through the website and get the most out of your courses. All courses that you are enrolled in will show up here on your home screen. You will see that the title and there are duplicates here, but you'll see one is semester one is semester two. So you have to pay attention. Sometimes you will have 2 semesters of the same course enrolled on your profile, and just make sure you're accessing the correct course. You also see a percentage over here. Now, what that percentage represents is the percent of the course that you have completed. It doesn't represent your grade in the course. So it, like particularly like this one says 80%. Now that's the average of the work that this student has completed. It does not mean the student has an 80% in the course. So be very careful not to misunderstand what that percentage represents for your grade. Your grades can be found in Student View through that portal, and we'll discuss that later. So let's access a course. For the course, sometimes instructors will put notifications right here that you need to read. Always you will see the lesson that you last completed and what is up next. So let's take a look at this first lesson that has been completed. You can click on each folder, and under each folder it'll tell you how many lessons and then the quizzes. For each lesson, like Reading Strategies 1, there will be a quiz. No matter what the content area is that you're focusing on, there will always be a lesson and a quiz that you must complete. In some courses, you can move from lesson to quiz without necessarily passing the quiz. Now, it's not recommended that you jump around. In fact, that's detrimental to your learning. So you must complete the lessons and the quizzes in sequence, even if you don't have a passing score on the quizzes. You need to continue to take those quizzes until you've reached a passing score of 80, 90, or 100. And you can retake these quizzes as many times as you need to get that passing score. So for English and science and some of these courses, you actually have to complete the lesson and the quiz with the passing score to be able to move on. So good rule of thumb is just know I have to do the lesson and I have to pass the quiz. Once you have completed it, you will see you'll get a green check mark over there. You can always go back and review the material within the lesson. Okay, so for example, on this one, it says that the lesson has been completed, but if you want to go back and review it, you can just choose to go back and see some of the work that you've done. Oh, let me do that. you can see some of the things. Let's see if we can. Yep, we just need to get to this back button. Okay. So you can go back and you can review the summary materials at the end of the lesson. These are the types. Let me go back and look at that for a second. These are types of things that you're going to want to put in your notes. These end of the lesson summaries. Other types of things you're going to want to put in your notes is some of these check for understanding questions. A lot of times, those are the same questions that are on your quizzes. The other thing that you're going to want to put in your notes is if they give you graphs and charts. Those are good pieces of information to have in your notes. And then at the beginning of most lessons, they have definitions. Also important to have in your notes. At the very beginning of each lesson, they will also give you what's called your learning objectives, which are defined here so that you understand what you're going to focus on in this lesson, as well as the vocabulary. Okay, so you've completed the lesson. Now you want to take the quiz. Let's get the back so we can see that. Reading strategies quiz. Now, this particular student has already completed the quiz and scored an 80% on it. They can go back and retake the quiz if they want to. They can also view the questions that they got right and wrong. So there will be a green check mark if your answer is correct. And if you miss the answer, there will be no check mark. So you can go back and review the answers that you chose and retake the quiz. And if you were waffling between the two answers, no, the one that you chose originally is wrong. Okay, so these are just, on these quizzes, these are just little short check for understanding to see what you remember from the material and if you need to go back and take more notes and study. At the end of every unit, there will be a unit post test. These post tests must be passed with 75% or higher. There are some lower passing thresholds in particular classes or particular tests that are challenging, but typically know that you need to pass these tests with a 75% or higher. You have 2 attempts to do this. If you have not done that, if you have not passed them at a 75 or higher within those 2 attempts, you will need to contact your instructor so that they can reset the test, go back and review it for you, give you tips and information to study before you can take it again. And that will take you through each unit. When you get to the end of the units, you will have completed the course, as well as any offline work that may be expected for you within the course. So let's look at some of the other features of Gradpoint. You can look at your performance, which will tell you in a quick glance what lessons you've done, the scores you've done, if you've completed the post test or not, things like that. You can also look at when you logged on, your start time, how long you were there, the lesson that you were last on. Parents find this tool helpful, especially if they want to see what their student was working on. Okay. You can toggle between the different classes assigned to you. So say you were working on English, you finished the lesson for the day, you jump over to your biology. Same thing. You can also look at your grades here. Just remember that the grades are not your course grade. It's just the percent of the lessons that you've completed so far. It also will tell you 2.58 of all activities completed. So if it's middle of semester and you've only completed 2.58% of the course, you know you are severely behind. Some other features of Gradpoint are outside resources that may have been embedded for you. Okay, you can check those out as well. So, as a Gradpoint user, you just need to become familiar with it. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to your instructor via email or coming into the lab to get the extra help that you need.